In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NFL games happening on August 17, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Jacksonville Jaguars versus New Orleans Saints. Week 2 of the NFL preseason rolls on with an intriguing interconference showdown in New Orleans, where the Jacksonville Jaguars will face the New Orleans Saints on Sunday afternoon. Jacksonville's preseason began with a 31-25 home defeat to Pittsburgh last week, a surprising result considering they entered the game as 5.5-point favorites. As for New Orleans, their preseason opener saw them lose 27-13 on the road to the Chargers last Sunday, missing the cover as 2-point underdogs. Historically, the Saints have gotten the better of this matchup, leading the all-time regular season series 5-3, but the Jaguars snagged a 31-24 win in New Orleans in their last regular season head-to-head in October 2023. When it comes to preseason meetings, the Saints squeaked out a nail-biter 23-21 at home back in August 2021. The Saints' effort last week against the Chargers raised some eyebrows, as they managed to rack up 300 total yards to the Chargers' 248 and ran 66 plays. They completed 27 passes for 239 yards, gained 61 yards on the ground, and lost the turnover battle 3-1. The offense struggled on third down, converting just 3 of 13 attempts, and went 0 for 2 in red zone appearances. In 2024 preseason action, New Orleans owns a 1-2 record with a tight 16-14 road win in Arizona for their opener, followed by close losses to San Francisco and a heartbreaker at home to Tennessee. Jacksonville's recent home game against the Steelers ended in disappointment with a 25-31 loss. The Jaguars were outgained 367-339 in yardage over 61 total plays. They completed 31 of 44 pass attempts for 273 yards and rushed for 66, with neither side committing a turnover. Jacksonville managed only 3 of 10 on third down and converted 2 of 3 red zone trips into points. Despite this setback, recent preseason play has seen the Jaguars find success, both straight up and versus the spread. The Jags had been solid in their previous 7 preseason matchups, covering or pushing the spread in the majority. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence got a brief run against Pittsburgh, going 6 for 7 for 43 yards, and figures to get more playing time as he works back from last year's late injury. The Saints' offense sputtered last week, producing only 1 touchdown and losing ground in the turnover game. In the preseason, they've struggled to cover the spread lately and dropped their solo home exhibition last year to Tennessee. Uncertainty at quarterback and question marks on the depth chart have left them searching for answers, making for a tough sell on their preseason prospects. Recent head-to-head stats show the Saints have generally had the Jags' number, holding a 4-1 edge overall and a similar mark against the spread. They're also 2-1 in New Orleans in those games, with the over hitting in 3 of their last 5 meetings. Still, given last week's showings, Jacksonville just looked sharper, racking up more yards, plays, and points than the Saints. While it's never a sure bet backing a road favorite in the preseason, Jacksonville's superior performance makes them the logical pick in this spot. As our first pick for this matchup, the Jacksonville Jaguars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Turning to the total, the Jags have hit the under in 3 of their last 4 preseason tilts and haven't scored more than 7 points in 2 of those. Their offense lagged last year, ranking near the league's bottom in points per game, and their backup QBs weren't much of a factor against Pittsburgh, combining for only 1 touchdown and little efficiency. The Jags didn't reach the end zone until the 4th quarter. On the flip side, the Saints also sputtered, scoring fewer than 17 in 3 of their last 4 preseason games, including last week's offensive misfires and a mere 3.1 yards per carry running the ball. 5 of New Orleans' last 6 games crossed under the total. However, Jacksonville's shootout in last week's loss to Pittsburgh pushed the over for the 6th time in 11 preseason games since 2022, ending a streak of unders. New Orleans also edged past the total in their opener against the Chargers with 40 points, sneaking over by a field goal in the closing seconds. Even so, both teams' recent offensive struggles and the general conservative approach early in the preseason set up the likelihood of a modest scoring game at the Superdome this weekend. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Buffalo Bills versus Chicago Bears. The Buffalo Bills and Chicago Bears are set to clash in the second week of the NFL preseason on Sunday. Buffalo comes into this exhibition matchup after a 34-25 home loss to the Giants, despite being slight favorites. Chicago, meanwhile, played to a 24-24 tie against Miami, surrendering a late lead even as home favorites in their opener. The 2024 regular season was strong for Buffalo. They improved on the previous year's record and rolled to a 13-4 finish, making the playoffs for the 6th straight year and defending their AFC East crown. Their playoff run included a dominant wild-card win over Denver and a close divisional victory over Baltimore. However, the Bills' quest for a title was stopped short in the conference championship by Kansas City. Chicago didn't have as much to celebrate. The Bears started brightly in 2024, jumping out to a 4-2 record, but then everything unraveled as they lost 10 straight, tying a franchise record. They finally notched one more win in the finale against the Packers to limp to a 5-12 record and another last-place division finish. That led to head coach Matt Eberflus being let go near the end of the season. Much of the talk heading into the game centers on Chicago rookie quarterback Caleb Williams and new coach Ben Johnson's offense. Whether Williams truly dazzles right away is uncertain, considering he didn't take the field in the opener, perhaps due to offensive line concerns or struggles adjusting to the NFL. Regardless, Buffalo is primed to challenge a Bears offense still finding its rhythm. Even with Josh Allen sitting out, the Bills are expected to move the ball effectively behind Mitch Trubisky, who looks ready to steer early drives. Buffalo's first preseason game revealed both strengths and areas for improvement. The Bills excelled through the air with over 300 passing yards and a solid yards per play average, but their third down conversion rate and total possession time left something to be desired. The defense allowed nearly 400 yards and was unable to force any turnovers, something coach Sean McDermott will want to tighten up before the regular season. Chicago struggled with discipline in their first preseason outing, committing 17 penalties. If they want to compete, they'll need to clean up their act, but their offensive balance last week was a positive. This matchup could be close, but Buffalo's depth and ability to strike through the air gives them the upper hand as underdogs here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Buffalo Bills to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Looking at the total, Sunday's game in Chicago shapes up as a big play showcase. The opener between the Bears and Dolphins was a shootout by preseason standards, and both rosters feature backup quarterbacks with starting experience, like Tyson Bagent and Case Keenum for Chicago, who combined for 3 touchdowns last week. Buffalo's signal callers, Mitch Trubisky and Mike White, also impressed with over 300 yards and 3 scores between them in their opener. Both offenses put up points even with most starters sitting, and both defenses looked vulnerable, each allowing at least 24 points. With a larger total on the board and both squads trying to make statements on national television, expect more fireworks this time around. The over has cashed in the last couple of meetings between these teams, and with both offenses poised to move the ball and both defenses looking shaky, there's every reason to expect a high-scoring affair again. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.